Day 470 of doing a LeetCode problem every day. All right, y'all, we're back again another day, another LeetCode problem where we're doing daily LeetCode problems. And today we have question number 1323, maximum 69 number. The difficulty level is easy, so you already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as well. But before we get started, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you need any new Apple AirPods, go ahead and check out that link in the description so you can get you some. Now let's see what the question says. You are given a positive integer num consisting of digits 6 and 9. Return the maximum number you can get by changing at most one digit. 6 becomes 9 and 9 becomes 6. All right, y'all, so that sounds pretty simple, but let's take a look at these examples anyway, just to make sure that we are doing this problem correctly. So in example 1, we have our input num equals an integer 9669. The output is 9969. Explanation says changing the first digit results in 6669. We don't like that one. The next one says changing the second digit results in 9969. Then it says changing the third digit results in 9699. And then it says changing the fourth digit results in 9666. I don't like that one either. So then the maximum number is 9969, right? So right here, when we change the second digit. So as you can see, we have these digits right here to start with, right? So if we change this 6 to a 9, then that becomes 9,969, and that's the largest we can create that's the largest number we can create when we only change one number, right? If we change any other number, if we change one number any other way, it'll be less, it'll be less than this, right? So this is less than this is equal to this is what we want, then this will be less than this, and this will be less than this. We want to create the maximum number that we can create by just changing one digit. And in this case, we change the second digit to a 9, and that leaves us with 9,969, which is the largest number that we can create when we are only allowed to change one of these digits from a 6 to a 9 or a 9 to a 6. So just in case that didn't make sense, let's take a look at example 2. In example 2, we have our input num equals an integer 9,996. Our output is 9,999. All we have to do is change the last digit from a 6 to a 9, and that results in a maximum number. So if we change this 6 to a 9, that'll give us the maximum number, because the maximum number is 9,999. If we changed any one of these 9s to a 6, that would make this number, it would still be less than this number, right? And we want the maximum, and this is the maximum. So let's take a look at example 3, where we don't really have to do anything. So in example 3, we have our input num equals an integer 9,999. We could just keep it as 9,999. It is better not to apply any change. So we need to keep that in mind when we're writing our code, that sometimes we might not need to change anything. So now that we understand the question, y'all, let's get into the fun part, the actual solution. Solution is not that difficult at all. So let's get into it. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to convert the input number into an array of characters, and this is going to help us make it easier when we just want to change one character. So we're going to make it as the digits are going to be as strings. So we're going to declare a variable. It's going to be an array of string digits, basically. So we're going to say var num array equals array, open up the parentheses, string, open up the parentheses, num. Boom. Then we're going to come underneath that, and we're going to create a variable that will hold the original number plus all possible modified versions. So we're going to declare a variable called the result array, and we are going to cast that as an array of integers, and we are just going to initialize it with a blank array. Now this right here is what we're going to do is we're going to put all of these different uh, numbers into this result array, and then we can just return the max and return the largest from this result array in the end. So once again, we're going to take this nums and we are going to change each number each time. Remember, this is one number, right? So we could put this whole number in the array, and then we could put this whole number in the array as well. And then once we put all of the different combinations in the array of different numbers, then all we have to do is return the max. So that's what this is going to store right here. Boom. Then we're going to add the original number as its first candidate result. So we're going to say result array dot append, open up the parenthesis, pass in num, just like that. Boom. Then we're going to loop through each digit of the number. So we're going to say for I and 0 dot dot up to num array dot count. We're going to open up the brackets, and if the digit is a 9, we're going to flip it to a 6. So we're going to say if num array square bracket I equals, open up the quotation marks 9, because we're working with strings. Boom. Then we're going to open up the brackets, and we're just going to change it to a 6 by saying num array square bracket I. We're just going to say now it equals, open up the parentheses and pass in that 6. Boom. Then we could come right here and we could say else if, boom, and we're going to do the same thing. If it's a 6, then we're going to flip it to 9. So we're going to say, right here, else if num array square bracket I equals, open up the quotation mark 6. Then we're going to open up the brackets. Then we're going to come right here and we're going to just change it to a 9 like we did before, but the other way around. So num array square bracket I now equals quotation marks 9. Boom. Now we need to convert the modified character array back into an integer. So, because right now we're working with an array, we need to turn that array back into an integer. Come right here, say let new num equal int, open up the parentheses, string, open up the parentheses, num array, and we're just going to force unwrap it, come outside of those parentheses with the exclamation point. Then we need to store this modified number as a candidate. So we're going to come underneath this, we're going to say result array dot append, open up the parentheses, new num, because remember, we're storing this whole number in the result array, all of these numbers, right? So that's why we're going to append a new num into the results array. Then we're going to reset the array back to the original number for the next iteration. So when I say we're going to reset the array, we're going to reset the nums array, not the result array, this array, not this array. So then we come back here and we're going to say num array equals array, open up the parentheses, string, open up the parentheses, num. Then all we have to do is return the maximum number found among all candidates by coming right here, and all we have to do is say return result array dot max and put the parentheses. Then it's optional, so we're going to say question mark 0 just to unwrap it. So let's give this a run, make sure it runs before we submit it. Okay, we got the wrong answer. So that means that the math, somewhere we got the math wrong. So let's see if we can figure out where we went wrong. So, oh, sorry, y'all. This should be not equal. That should just be equal. So now let's run it. Let's run it again. And it's accepted, so let's go ahead and submit it. Make sure it's still accepted after we submit it. And look at that, y'all. 0 milliseconds beats 100% of users, y'all. Those are some good numbers right there. So with that being said, make sure you get one more look at the code. This is the top part. It's the rest of it. And yeah, y'all, with that being said, I hope y'all learned something today, and I hope to see y'all here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.